welcome back to my channel. My name is Sophie Berger and I'm a third year computer science and master of management student at the University of British Columbia. And I know what you might be thinking, like, whoa, new background, it isn't Monday, what is happening, what's going on? Don't worry, this is all intentional. There's going to be a new main video dropping next Monday, and that's kind of what I'll be doing. Every Monday there's going to be a main video coming out for you guys, and now this is a new series I'm starting called Food for Thought, which is going to come out every Friday. It's kind of like a more chill vibe, and essentially what it is I just really got into consuming a lot of content, like whatever it is, be it blogs, podcasts, videos, articles, tweets, you name it. And I look at a lot of that stuff throughout the week. And what I decided to do is, this is actually based on Ali Abdaal, who's another YouTuber who you probably know, link in the description as well. He made a video about a resonance calendar is what he calls it, where he just kind of keeps kind of a database of everything that he consumes in content, if it really impacts him. So I kind of took that and made it my own, and what I want to do is, with these things that I kind of put into this calendar type thing, because they resonated with me, because they impacted me, because they inspired me, I don't just want to keep that for myself. I want to share that with you guys, because these are some genuinely really awesome things. This doesn't have to be things that kind of link with current affairs. It's just anything that really I found worth sharing with you guys. So why is it called Food for Thought? Well, my name's Sophie Berger, and a lot of people, if they speak English, they pronounce my name Berger. So I was like, I might as well embrace that. It's always, if you can't laugh at yourself, what's the point? So I went with the whole burger vibe, and Food for Thought is kind of a thing already, so I was like, it works out somehow. So yeah, that's just what it's going to be called. And what I want to do with this series is I want to share these things with you guys, but also it'll help me keep myself accountable to really consume more interesting and impactful content. So yeah, and if these things also kind of resonate with you, it's always great if you guys want to start a discussion in the comments about the 3 things that I mentioned in one of these videos. And obviously I link all of the things I mentioned in the description as well, and also put up cards when it comes to that thing in the video. Okay, so let's just jump right into the first thing. As I said, this is a whole more chill kind of vibe. So the first thing I actually want to talk about with you guys is a blog post I read. It's called How to Read Lots of Inputs and a Strong Filter, and it's a post by Morgan Housel, I think you pronounce his name, on the Collaborative Fund blog. And it's a really short post. I'd really encourage you guys to read it. And it's really, really cool, because in this post, what he essentially discusses is the fact that a lot of people view reading as this kind of chore that they have to do, oh, I'm supposed to read, and I start a book and then I have to finish that book, and when I'm done I move on to the next one. And what he kind of discusses is that we should stop viewing reading as this really important, oh my god, you have to go from start to finish thing, and just have fun with it. If you start a book and you're not feeling the vibe, close it and move on. And you can also read multiple books at the same time. It's totally up to you however you want to do it. And what he really argues is this thing of lots of inputs and having a strong filter. So you really want to start as many books as you can, but then have a strong filter and be like, oh, this is BS, or oh, this isn't interesting to me at all, then move on. Start as many as you can, but only finish the ones that you're really interested in, essentially. And I kind of want to take that a little more to heart and really kind of increase the amount that I read through this. And I feel like it's just a interesting new kind of way to approach reading. So yeah, I'd really encourage you guys to check it out. It's a really short post. Let's move on to the second thing that I want to talk to you about. And this is a podcast that I listened to. It was called Pausecast, and it was with Derek Sivers. So he was a guest on this podcast. And what he kind of talked about, Derek Sivers, you might have heard of him if you're into productivity and just into amazing life advice kind of stuff. But if you don't know who he is, you guys should definitely Google him or check him out. But in this podcast, he talked about how if he feels that he's at kind of a bad point in his life where he's like struggling. Yes, even these people struggle. Then he just opens like a blank page and he answers, like as the title, he writes the question like what's wrong, and then he really tries to like answer that one question, and then he goes through another set, like a subset of questions. For example, are you in danger? Why is it bad? What is good about this? Why did I want this? What has changed? And he literally writes those questions on that piece of paper and then writes answers for them. And he only moves on to the next question once he literally just like brain dumped everything that he has to say or he has as an answer to that question onto the paper. And what he said is really cool about this is that first of all, you get the stuff out of your mind. This is especially useful if you don't have like an actual person there to talk to, but just like seeing it written down helps you organize your own thoughts. But also, you can kind of approach your goals in a more creative way, because often when you're stuck or you feel like, oh, I'm kind of in a bad time in my life, it's because you have a goal but the path that you were thinking of reaching that goal isn't working anymore. What he does is, for example, he also has the questions, what if I do the opposite, and what would be the most interesting new approach? So that really encourages him to think of new pathways to reach that goal. And he says 2 isn't enough. No, you write down 10 and only then do you decide. And once one of them clicks and really makes you want to like jump into action while you're writing it down in the moment, that's how you know that's the new path that you should take. And just by doing that, you kind of find all of these new creative ways to really approach your goals. And I just found this like quite inspiring, if I'm honest, and just like a really cool new approach to goal setting, because I really don't like goal setting, especially the way that it's taught in schools with like SMART goals and all of that. But I'll probably make a proper video about this soon. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you'd actually be interested in that, because I don't know what you're into, but I have quite strong opinions about that kind of stuff. Lastly, the last thing that I want to discuss in today's premiere of Food for Thought, how exciting, is I already mentioned Ali Abdaal in the beginning, but he has this kind of live series on his channel called Deep Dive, and he made an episode with Tynan called Social Skills, Nomadic Life and Relationships, Deep Dive with Tannen. And I didn't know who Tannen was before this, but this video was really inspiring and really great, and it was so fun to watch, because like the main thing that they talked about for a pretty big chunk of the video, or live stream actually, was that Tynan had gotten together with like 5 to 10 of his friends who were all already kind of into this like nomadic lifestyle of just like backpacking around and just like living in the moment. And they had gotten together and they decided that they, as a group of friends, 5 to 10 friends, just buy properties all over the world. And this is just like such a cool concept in my mind. So what he said, for example, is he found this property in Tokyo that cost $100,000, which for a property in Tokyo, like, that is a good find. And then if you split that between like 5 to 10 people, that's how they kind of bought that place together. And they did that with places all over the world. They even bought their own private island in Canada, which is like, that is totally insane and like really cool. So this is probably something that's actually on my bucket list now that I really want to do. It's just like buy a property with a bunch of friends. But the really interesting thing that he said is that a lot of people are surprised by this or think that it's this like big, important, daunting step or like totally out of this world idea. But what he said was, yeah, it only costs like between $10,000 to $15,000 per person. That's less than you'd spend on your own car. So why is it such a weird concept to people? Like, it's not as daunting and not as big of an investment as a lot of people think if you just like get together with a bunch of friends and buy a property together. And that is it, I don't know, it's just like such an interesting perspective. It's almost like stocks, like each person kind of owns part of that place, and then you, if you don't want it anymore, you can pass it on to the next friend. It's just super cool. You guys should definitely check it out. So it was a live stream, but it's archived on Ali Abdaal's channel now. So again, link is gonna be in the description and somewhere. yeah, it was really cool. And if you guys also find this really, really cool and you want to buy a private island together, hit me up, because like I'm genuinely interested. Okay guys, so that was it for the first episode of Food for Thought. As I said, these are gonna come out every single Friday, and it's just kind of a chill time where I want to share some inspiring or impactful content with you guys. If you guys want to check them out, links are all over the place. Comment down below which one of these kind of pieces of content you found interesting, and let me know if you also check them out. Again, leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this video with anyone that you think needs to kind of consume the content with a little bit more intention. Yeah, take care, and I'll see you soon.